Parents in other countries than the US, what is your kid's equivalent of I don't want that for dinner? I want chicken nuggets. I don't want that for dinner. I want chicken nuggets. Australia. Poutine. My daughter wants it every night if she could LOL. Grew up in the Philippines. My kids reject whatever I cook and just want plain rice with soy sauce. I spent 45 minutes on adobo and they're over there eating sad rice. Here in Mexico, my 7-year-old wants butter on bread, toasted on the stove, or he wants scrambled eggs with butter. Used to be craft dinner, before it became terrible. When I was helping with a women's shelter in Guatemala, the kids usually wanted tamales, Guatemalan-style banana leaves and a different sauce. But those take forever to make, so their begging was often unheeded too. When we lived in Poland, the kids wanted naleśniki and pierogi, dessert pierogi, all the time. We let them, sometimes, but put salad or meat on their plates too. If we passed by McDonald's, they wanted cheeseburgers and fries. We almost never let them have that. If we did, then they'd wanted even more. In the UK, it's all about I want beans on toast. It's like the universal comfort food here, FR. Nutella or noodles with butter. Or just chicken nuggets. German here. White rice, the broth of cooked beans, grilled chicken, or steak and French fries. That's also what a kid's meal is at most restaurants. This would vary wildly by cultural heritage and state, but in certain parts of North India the answer is aloo paratha, which is a rich dough stuffed with spiced mashed potato and pan-fried in lots of ghee. Though these days I bet the kids all want pizza. Growing up in a Chinese household, this was like asking for a cruisin' for bruisin' in common England English parlance. Japan here. Frozen gyoza, or frozen carriage, which is just Japanese chicken nuggets. I don't want that for dinner. I want French fries and chicken nuggets. Pakistan. When I was young, it was always rice pilaf with yogurt on the side. Kids would also love a piece of bread with tomato paste on it. That was in Turkey. Pasta with tomato sauce and parmesan. It never even occurred to me to ask for something else. It was eat what you get or don't eat. Here I'm Argentina is usually a milanesa. I grew up in New Mexico, and when I was a kid, a bean and cheese burrito was what every kid wanted all the time. And now as an adult, I will still take a good bean and cheese burrito over almost anything else. Fish and chips or minced cheese pies are what my kid would eat every night if he could. My husband is North Indian and he said Maggie and yellow Dale. For example, we're trying to introduce our kids to a variety of dishes from all over the world, usually with unique spices flavor profiles, and a lot of times our kids complain about what's offered and ask for chicken nuggets or mac and cheese and such. Does your country have a unique equivalent of this? Do kids in India only want to eat dal? Do kids in the Levant only want falafel? Etc. Cocoa rice. Hubs is Samoan, so we've always got cocoa in the house. Indian household. Maggi noodles. In the UK, it's usually I don't want that. I want chips, or can we have pizza instead? Kids are universal when it comes to picky eating. Har har. White rice and avocado. Northwest Territories, I don't wanna eat my whale blubber. I grew up in Canada, but in a Pakistani household. I always wanted chicken and chorl, rice. If I went to a party and there wasn't chicken and chorl, I'd ask my parents, where's the chicken and chorl? I couldn't get enough chicken and chorl. Incidentally, I'm about 50 pounds overweight. What a fun question, OP. Vietnamese first-gen immigrant to US. Always begged my mom for either fruit cocktail or CHA lure with mayonnaise and white bread. My 5-year-old only wants ricotta and spinach cannelloni. I can cope with that. Grew up in Mexico, always asked for a quesadilla and chocolate milk. My 5-year-old is convinced she could live on seaweed. I'm not a parent, but usual my brother wants hamburgers or pizza. Philippines, hot dog, red ones. I'm in the US, but my wife is Korean and our daughter always wants a dawn with fish cakes. We do breakfast for dinner, so eggs on toast or avocado on sourdough with feta and chorizo or halloumi and a squeeze of lemon. Also pancakes or French toast. When I was an au pair in Spain, all the kids wanted arroz cabeno, which is white rice with room temperature tomato sauce on top. The sauce there is called tomate frito and it's sweet. It was tastier than you would think. I always thought of it as their equivalent of mac and cheese for the kids. Sweden. Meatballs. We use pre-made frozen meatballs from the store when kids get whiny. Often served with just pasta and ketchup. I'm in the US but near a large Salvadoran population, and my kids want pupusers. When I was a picky little kid growing up in China, tomato and eggs over rice was my default meal when my mom or grandma doesn't feel like fighting me to eat something different. Basically scrambled eggs cooked with tomatoes until saucy. My kid always asks for gimbap. Biscuits and sausage gravy, Southern US. Or cereal. I've read through a bunch of these comments and honestly, most of these sound really good. I've had a lot of them, and I agree they're comfort food, but there's a lot I haven't had and now I need to try them. Growing up in a Thai household, I demand eggs and rice every day, twice a day. The eggs are friends with shallots and fish sauce. It's delicious. I still eat it all the time. After reading lots of comments, someone that knows how to write books needs to make a cookbook filled with everyone's go-to kids meal. Because all of these sound delicious. Growing up I always asked my mom to make me sopa, which is just like Mexican tomato soup with pastrami, shell stars, etc. It was my favorite thing to eat for any meal, but normally she'd make it for breakfast or lunch. That and homemade tortillas with butter. We're in the US and my kids are American born, but Hubs and I are first-gen post-Soviet immigrants. And my kids' version is I don't want that for dinner, I want pilmeni. White rice with feta cheese, scrambled eggs, and dill with some of the rice being a little crispy from the bottom of the pot, served with plain yogurt. Polo paner bereshta. It was my favorite comfort food growing up. Chicken nuggets checking in from South Africa. Balilo, quesadilla, or flour tortilla with butter. Canarder. Chicken nuggets. In Vietnam we want instant ramen lol. From NZ. All I wanted to eat as a kid was sausage sizzles from Bunnings Mitre 10 har. That or Raro, powdered drink mix. I think the closest US equivalent is Kool-Aid. Just the powder, not even mixed into water or anything. But that was more of a lunch delicacy. Rice and fish. Plain jasmine rice with tinned tuna. Corned beef doesn't live up to tuna apparently. PNG.